The phone lights up on the table, face down a second ago, and now there it is, a name, a message, the soft blue glow of someone needing something from you. You haven't read it all the way through. You're maybe 4 words in. But somewhere behind your ribs, the answer is already forming, already warm, already shaped like, yes, of course, no problem at all. That's the part worth slowing down on, not the request, the speed. Because the yes arrives before the feeling does. It's out of your mouth, out through your thumbs, before the quieter thing underneath it. The tiredness, the actually, I'd rather not, has even finished standing up. The agreement is fast, the truth is slow, and the fast one keeps winning. You tell yourself it's just easier this way, that you're flexible, low maintenance, the kind of person who doesn't make things difficult. And there's a small pride in that, isn't there? The pride of being the one who never needs much. But notice what happens in your body the moment after. A small settling that isn't relief. A breath you let out that you didn't know you were holding. Something in you goes still. Not peaceful still, but the stillness of a room where someone has decided not to speak. If you follow that stillness back far enough, it doesn't start here, at this table, with this phone. It starts in a younger room, a smaller you, learning to read the weather of a house before you'd learn to read words. Watching a face for the first sign of a storm. Knowing, the way children know things in their stomach before their mind, that the air stayed calm as long as you stayed easy. So you became easy. You learned that yes kept the peace and no made the room go strange. You learned to smooth the edge off things before anyone could cut themselves on it. You got good at it, so good that it stopped feeling like a choice and started feeling like who you were. It was a kind of intelligence, really. A child finding the safest way to stand in a room that wasn't safe to disagree in. You weren't being weak, you were being clever in the only currency you had. The trouble is that the child grew up and the reflex didn't. The room changed and the body kept bracing for the old weather. Now you say yes to a coworker, a neighbor, a friend asking for one more thing, and some old part of you still believes the calm of the whole house depends on it. You can see the cost in small domestic things if you let yourself look. The cup of coffee gone cold at your elbow while you do the favor you didn't want to do. You made it warm, you sat down, you meant to have a quiet morning. And then the message came, and you said yes, and now the coffee sits there with a thin skin forming on top, untouched. The steam long gone, a small gray ring where the warmth used to be. Multiply that cup by years, the evenings given away, the plans you bent around someone else's convenience, the quiet resentment you weren't allowed to feel, because you were the one who'd agreed, so what right did you have to mind? And here's the thing you slowly understand, sitting with the cold cup, this was never generosity. You called it kindness for so long because kindness was the respectable name for it. But real kindness has a no available to it. Real kindness can choose. What you were doing wasn't choosing. It was the oldest way you knew to stay safe in a room. You've been paying a tax on that safety for years, and you never saw the bill because it gets taken out quietly. A little of you, each time. A small collapse after each yes that nobody else can see. So you try something, not a grand thing, just one small, frightening experiment. You let a no stand on its own. No apology trailing behind it like a long coat. No, I'm so sorry. No, I wish I could. No inventing a reason elaborate enough to excuse you. Just the word, plain, set down on the table like a stone. And it's terrifying. Your heart does the thing it did in the younger room. Your thumb hovers, wanting to add the softening, the but maybe next week, the smiley face, the little verbal bow. Everything in you strains to make the no smaller, rounder, easier to swallow. You don't add it. You let the word be the size it actually is. Then comes the silence. And the silence is the hardest part because the silence is where the old fear lives. You wait for the room to go strange. For the storm you spent your whole childhood learning to outrun. You stare at the screen, at the three little dots that mean someone is typing, and your whole body is braced for the air to turn. But the room doesn't end. The dots stop. A reply comes. Ordinary, unbothered, no worries, another time. And the world does not crack down the middle. The other person was never holding the weather the way the small you believed they were. They just wanted an answer they could hold either one. And you sit there, slightly stunned, the way you're stunned when a door you've leaned against your whole life turns out to push open easily. All that bracing, all those years of yes. And the catastrophe you were preventing was never going to come. It won't always go that gently. Some people will mind. Some rooms really were the way you feared, and you'll have to learn slowly which is which. Which discomfort is danger, and which is only the unfamiliar feeling of taking up your own space. But that's the thing you get to find out now. You're allowed to find out. The coffee is cold. You let it be cold. You don't rush to fix the morning you already half gave away. The phone is on the table again, face up this time, which is its own small thing. You're not hiding from it anymore, not letting it glow at you from underneath like something you're afraid of. A message comes, you read it all the way to the end before anything in you answers. You let the slow truth finish standing up. You feel the no arrive, and for once it gets to arrive before the yes. You type 3 words, can't this time, no smile after it, no softening, no long coat of apology dragging behind, just the true size of it sent. And the light stays on. The room stays calm, not because you kept it calm, not because you paid for the calm with another piece of yourself, but because it was always going to be calm and you were always allowed to be a person inside it. You set the phone down, still face up, and you reach finally for the cold coffee, and you drink it anyway because it's yours, and the morning, what's left of it, is yours too.